If I stream the same show at the exact same time on my channel, will I get yelled at for it? I wonder. This is going to be an interesting question to answer. I feel like that would be illegal. I mean, it's not buffering. It's not buffering at all. Okay, I wonder what would happen if I added visual to it. Oh my gosh, OBS is freaking the fuck out. That's okay. It doesn't like this. Let's deactivate that. And then, goodbye, everybody. I just turned off the camera for OBS, so now let's see. Let's see how this works. Hi, everybody. Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't, no. It's still buffering. Okay, everyone, I'm going to post the link to the StreamYard's stream in the chat. Go hang out over there instead. And then I guess we can drop out of Discord too, Polly. Okay. Polydub. Polly is dubious. Oh, that's
We've been watching a lot of Roman stuff lately, so.
That's fair. You're an OBS picture thing, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah, everyone, if you're on the initial stream, go to the other stream, and then I'm going to close this one out, render it useless, and call it a day. So, goodbye. I'm so sorry for all of the hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo.
Yep, the hullabaloo. Goodbye. All right, so if everyone is in the chat link that I published to the chat, good, great. I love it. I love when a show starts with technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite. Okay, I lied. This is the actual link. Don't cut this one. I blame Polly 100%. Well, don't do that. He didn't do anything. Literally, he just showed up.
That was enough.
I guess. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I am so sorry for everything. Polly, for wasting your time initially with my shenanigans and internet shenanigans. Let me just close. Yeah, sorry.
It's all right.
Okay. Now that that is settled and we've established that I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay, what the fuck is going on?
What is going on?
Are
you having trouble with the picture?
I am having trouble with the picture.
Maybe turn off the camera?
No, I mean something other than that, but that very well might be a problem soon. Hold on, give me a second. So how's things been there, Weebo? It already exists. Really? Then where the fuck is it? Show it to me.
Oh, things have been good. Things have been decent. I published a video last week, and I
saw it. Yeah, it was good.
I thought it was good too. And I'm kind of like on a roll because I have another video in queue, and then I have a video plan in queue as well. So like I have raw footage that I need to edit down into an actual video and then publish, and then I have an idea for a video that I want to script out and put up, and then there's of course the actual planned video that I had for June, which is kink at Pride, and addressing the whole issue with exposing children to kink, which is kind of adjacent to all the rest of the videos that I've been publishing here about Pride Month, which, you know, it just seems people have been very, very enthusiastic about the idea of exposing children to anything sexual orientation related. And I don't understand why not a lot of people, a lot of people have an issue with it. but not everyone has an issue with it. And people even bend over backwards and go out of their way to defend that kind of shenanigans. So, yeah, I'm going to be covering that. I also did watch Morbius through a perfectly legitimate source with all of my friendos over in the Discord. And that was fun. And I took notes, and I have 12 pages worth of notes, so I am reviewing Morbius. I'm going to do I'm going to be doing I watch Morbius so that you don't have to kind of style video in the traditional Weebo Incognito Weebo reviews video style. So that'll be fun. You just yeeted yourself from the stream.
Yeah, it was accidental.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That doesn't look like you.
That's Amber Heard. My dog stepped on a bee.
Okay, I have a question for you. How closely were you watching that trial, or were you just like a casual observer from way back beyond the sidelines?
I wasn't watching it intensely, but I near the end, I started watching it a lot more closely. Yes.
So did you happen to witness Dr. Smeagol on the stand?
Dr. Schmeagol. No, I didn't.
Sorry, it's Spiegel. I think it's actually pronounced Spiegel, but
no, I didn't.
Obviously that's not what people are doing with this man's name. Okay, so you did not. If you do nothing else, okay, maybe actually there are two areas of the trial that I think that everyone should be watching, just because they are the most entertaining and or most informative. Watch Dr. Spiegel's direct and cross-examinations in their entirety.
Oh, is this the guy with the Pelosi lip smacking problem?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. I certainly have seen clips of that gentleman. Yes.
Oh, that whole, especially the cross-examination, is a treat, Polly. Oh, I just Wayne Dennison punished this fucker on the stand for even daring to step up to the stand as an expert witness in the first place, just because, oh gosh, like, you know how doctors and in some cases head doctors have like the biggest freaking egos?
I do know that. Yes.
This guy
from personal experience. Yes.
Yeah. This guy was probably one of the primo examples of a doctor with an overinflated ego. And it was so amusing to watch him on the stand, but also kind of infuriating at the same time. But like in a you're watching a movie and you hate the bad guy kind of way. Oh, just watch it. You will not regret it. Trust me. And then the other one is the doctor who the internet has collectively began to refer to now as Dr. Mommy Muffins.
What? Nice. Very nice.
Her real name is Dr. Curry. She was the psychologist that Johnny Depp's team introduced to analyze Amber Heard's whole mental capacity, to kind of give credibility or take away credibility from the claim that she had PTSD from these assaults that she allegedly underwent at the hands of Johnny Depp. And instead of purporting that, like Amber Heard would have wanted, she absolutely rips Amber apart by diagnosing her with histrionic personality disorder and borderline personality disorder. And then she goes in to describe in very great detail, but not using any actual examples from Amber Heard specifically, but just in general, expressing what those would look like in an actual realistic, real person's life to the jury. And the way that she did that very well gave parallels, lends itself to parallels to Amber Heard that the jury could draw then. It was just so masterfully done. And she's hot, especially with the glasses that she wears. So that's also worth watching, I think, and checking out, because not so much for the celebrity aspect, but she was just so interesting to listen to, talking about psychology and these two individual disorders. She was very well informed. She was very well spoken, very well prepared, and just one of the better exhibitions of the trial that I saw at all. So I watched entirely too much of that trial, Polly, I will say.
Did you?
Entirely too much. So I know entirely too much about everything.
Camille Ramirez Vasquez.
Mm-hmm.
Camille Vasquez's cross-examination of Amber Heard was probably my favorite part.
Oh, that was pretty good too. Yeah.
Because it was set up to be so everyone's lying but you.
Yeah. Wait, the first cross or the second cross? Because she was crossed twice. Okay.
The second. It was set up quite well. And so he was lying. No, I'm not saying he was lying. I'm just saying what he did testify to is not accurate as to be representative of what occurred.
So he's lying.
So he's lying.
Right.
And it's like, I'm not going to keep asking the question. I've already made the point to the jury. I'm going to move on. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? It's right. I can't. It would just be badgering to keep going. It's like the point's been made. You're not willing to say use the words he's a liar or he is lying.
Right.
But you think he's lying. That sort of thing. It was well done.
Her cross-examination of Amber Heard, specifically the second one, because I think she did a really good job of doing this in the second cross. But her cross-examination of Amber Heard was effective in that it took the narrative from a point of he said, she said, and turned it into she said,
everyone
all
else
these
fell.
Other people said.
Yeah.
And that's effective because it lessens her credibility as a person, but it also yeets the narrative of he said, she said right into the sun, because there's always going to be people of like, oh, well, we weren't there, and it's always this side or the other side. But in actuality, it's this side versus all these other sides that are not supporting this other side. And how do you get over that hump? That is an incredible mountain of witness testimony to knock down.
Yep.
So that was an impeccable cross-examination by Miss Vasquez, who is now partner at the firm that she works for. So,
really?
Yeah, she was promoted to partner right after the verdict, which good for her.
Yeah.
Never go. Oh, sorry. So yeah, I had fun watching the trial, and I'm by no means a legal expert, but talking about it to my relations whenever I go and visit them, because they do have a lot of questions regarding it. And they know that I've been following it, but they ask me questions, and then they go, Weebo, you should be a lawyer. And I'm like, no. No. I do like to argue, but I don't think I would enjoy being a lawyer. I do like legal arguments though.
I think I'd enjoy being a litigator.
Yeah.
In certain aspects, but a mediator more, because it's not about showmanship and trying to present a certain emotional aspect, which can turn against you depending on the circumstances of the case. It's a question of, what does this say? What does that say? What do you have? Does it meet those requirements? No, it does not. And here's the reason why. And I just think that's my academic background coming out of me. Mm-hmm. That makes me say that. But anyway, fuck all that. I sent you a video of it's a short music video of Amber Heard Stepped on a Bee, the official music video.
Oh, I think I might have seen that, but I know what you're talking about, the whole and then my dog stepped on a bee aspect of the trial, which was completely random. Why that blew up, it's beyond my.
Because the face she made afterwards, the face in the animation that I've got on right now is the avatar. It's like, what did you make that? Sam is of the opinion, and it's a good one because it's a fresh take on it. Like everyone else is just like, she overacted it and thought, oh, it was so painful that my dog stepped on a bee, and she just totally overacted it. Sam's of the opinion that she said it and heard herself saying that and just went, oh God, why did I say that? That sounded so stupid. Like,
yeah, probably. like she's not a great actress, and that she throughout the trial, as we saw, she couldn't not. She had a shitty poker face. She couldn't not emote while hearing certain testimony.
Yeah.
And then when she would try to emote, it didn't land. And we actually got testimony from her acting coach that said that Amber Heard, for the life of her, can't cry on command. Like, can't do the actor thing of just shedding tears.
Yeah.
And we got to see that.
Could not resist from a person is asking you a question, turn to the jury and talk to them. Like it was insistent to the point where it almost seemed like a tick, like an unavoidable obsession, fixation with her that I must speak to the audience. Like, you know, the way a stage actor would be, you never turn your back on the audience, that sort of reaction. And it's weird. It looks better when you answer the person who asked you the question, not turn to them and say, no, that's not what happened. And right. I don't think you're going to garner their affections or whatever by doing so.
Well, I think part of the issue was, I think is it the borderline personality disorder that demands that the person who has it garner attention, or as much attention as they can, from the people that they're interacting with. As I feel like that was in the testimony from Dr. Curry, Dr. Mommy Muffins, for those of you who know her as such.
I gotta look up Dr. Mommy Muffins now. All right.
Yeah. Well, okay, before you do that, here is the My Dog Stepped on a Bee song.
All right. We'll
show the audience the origination of your is this gonna be your new profile picture for like
for a little bit? It's good. I mean, it's just her reaction. It's like, what were you? I still don't know what was in her mind when she did it. That's why I find it so funny.
Yeah.
And you hear like it's really short. It's only 20 seconds, but then you hear the lawyer come and go, objection, relevance, and it's like, right? What does this got to do with anything?
Indeed. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen of the chat, are you ready for this nonsense?
My dog stepped on a bee. Objection, relevance. My dog stepped on a bee, stepped on a bee, stepped on a bee. My dog stepped on a bee, stepped on a bee.
Okay, but have you seen objection hearsay?
No.
Okay, so at one point in the trial, Ben Rottenborn asks Johnny Depp a question, and then Johnny's like beginning to answer it, only for Ben to then object to it, the answer for his own question, because it was hearsay. Because Johnny Depp was technically answering in hearsay, but right, he was still. It was so funny. But objection hearsay also has to do with the fact that Ben kept objecting to hearsay within Johnny Depp's testimony as well. So, and it was constant. So it became a meme. And this is that meme. Oh, no, I stopped sharing. I didn't want to stop sharing. And it became the unofficial Depp Heard theme song. It was great. It was fantastic. All right. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I used to be respected. People took me at my word. Then I became a lawyer representing Amber Heard. Objection hearsay. Oh my God, I don't have a case. Objection hearsay. Now I'm ashamed to show my face. Well, I'm a famous movie star, yeah, life is always fine. I sit down at my penthouse drinking mega pints of wine. Objection hearsay. Don't know why we have a wed. Objection hearsay. Who the hell poops in someone's bed? Object to everything, I may have an infection. Cause I say I object, the judge says that was your own question. Objection. Court isn't supposed to be this hard. Objection hearsay. How did I ever pass the bar? Just one question, sir, and this one has been prepped. What is your name?
My name is Johnny Depp.
Objection hearsay. Can you prove that that's your name? Objection hearsay. Looks like we win and you are lame. Objection hearsay. Objection hearsay.
Yeah. This case was a banger.
I had totally forgotten when he objected to his own question. That was good. I saw that one live, and I was like, "Wait, what? Hold on,
Hold on." All right, and then I'm gonna look up Dr. Curry for you. Dr. Curry. All right, here you go. Mommy Muffins.
Ah. Well.
Okay. So the reason why she's Dr. Curry Mommy Muffins to the internet is actually kind of hilarious, but also kind of not, right? Because she's on cross-examination, and Elaine Bredehoff is attempting to impeach this witness on her credibility and ethical standards as a professional expert witness, to the jury, to make them feel like she's less credible than she actually is.
Right.
So she attempts to do two things. First, she tries to question her ethical standards based off of the fact that when she was being interviewed by Depp's legal team, she met with him and a bunch of his lawyers at his house, and the interview went late, so they ended up ordering dinner, and I guess there were drinks present. So that was the first instance of attempted impeachment on Dr. Curry. The second one was when Elaine attempted to impeach her on a basket of muffins that Dr. Curry's husband had dropped off at their office the day that Amber Heard was supposed to come by and be examined by Dr. Curry. So this was an attempt at a smoking gun, because when you are an expert witness, I guess, you're not supposed to tell people not in your office, not a part of this specific case, who it is that you're being asked to examine. It's a privacy thing, right? If you're a psychology, the information that you learn about your patient is supposed to be kept between you and your patient. And if
supposed to be the operative word,
it's supposed to be, but in this case, right, she's going to testify on the stand. It's going to be public, so it's not going to always be private. But in that instance, if she's having this discussion with Amber Heard, it is her responsibility to keep it private, right? So they had to clear out the office for this interview with Heard because she's a high-profile celebrity client coming in to interview, and they would recognize her. But I guess during the meeting, Curry had mentioned to Amber that her husband had brought muffins for her, like, to the office, and that she was able to eat them. The context that Elaine was missing from that was that she always brings muffins to the office. Dr. Curry always brings muffins to the office. It's kind of her thing, especially when they have, like, a big client. So muffins are always brought in. Just that day, she couldn't bring the muffins in, so she asked her husband to bring the muffins in. So it was a whole silly, stupid 20-minute debacle of, so your husband knew, and we know this because of the muffins. So we called it Muffingate, and now she's Mommy Muffins because it was just so ridiculous. Yep, Mommy Muffins. All right, indeed.
I love the idea that Amber Heard's legal firm has investigators that went and found out about the muffins.
Well, I think Amber Heard actually told her lawyers this, and this was their brilliant plan to discredit Dr. Curry on the stand.
Gotcha.
We'll get her with the muffins, boys.
Yeah.
Kind of nonsense, and it wonderfully backfired because it just made Elaine look ridiculous. We'll impeach her with the muffins. But yeah, look at this lady. She's gorgeous. Anyway. I may or may not have a lady crush on her. Sounds like a whole lot of muffin to me. But that was great, Joshua. That was fantastic. We have a great audience.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I watched the trial. The aftermath has been interesting too to observe. It's not like it just like the verdict was read and everything just kind of subsided. It kind of had the same effect that, like, I don't know, what would be a comparable subject? Because you know how like news on the internet goes in like 24 hours and like 2 seconds from now, current news is old news.
Yeah.
That's not really been the case here. It still seems to be relevant, much like in the way that Trump winning the presidency was relevant for the next 4 years. And by relevant, I mean people were bitching about it for 4 years following that.
Yeah.
It seems comparable, I feel.
What I find interesting is that people that have a stake in it in terms of being commentarians, excuse me, it doesn't really matter what the outcome of the trial was, where it was like, you know, Johnny Depp across the board, because I mean, they were suing and countersuing each other. However that turned out, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, all one way, all the other, you know, hung jury, whatever the fuck. All the commentarians had something to say who were, regardless of who they were. And I thought that was interesting. And by interesting, I mean depressing and blackpilling. It's like Amber Heard wins. Well, of course she won. She's a rich white woman, and that's the only kind of person that can win.
Right.
She loses when even a rich white woman can't win. It shows you how patriarchal the system is.
Oh,
it doesn't matter how it turned out. The commentarians were ready with a fucking list of fucking commentaries for whatever eventuality. And I thought about that, you know, during the deliberation time, day 1, day 2, day 3 of the jury wait watch. And I'm like, yeah, I could actually write a whole set of eventualities. Okay, we have situation 3B that occurred. Foosh, pulled it out. Here you go, Amber, read that.
Right. They probably had several different prepared statements for in the eventuality of any of these outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like a very commentary type of thing. And obviously Amber would have those statements prepared as well, just because it's smart. But you know what's interesting? I did see, I think, did you see the Root article about how Amber Heard's loss is actually like worse for Black women overall?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, it did.
What's interesting about
the
that,
Root never fails, do they?
No, they don't. They're always at the forefront of every single buffoonery that you could imagine. But what's interesting about that, right, is the whole idea that Amber Heard's loss is actually going to make it difficult for Black women to be believed. The idea of making this a racial thing. You could absolutely make it a racial thing from the other perspective, wherein that there are an abundance of Black males accused of horrendous things on a frequent basis, and then when they tried, and not just sexual assault or domestic violence, but just in general, they're accused of things on a frequent basis, and then they don't get their day in trial, and then they're not innocent until proven guilty. They're just kind of yeeted off to prison or jail or whatever to sit and wait until their trial, and then get a public defender, and that public defender is not great. Like, there's absolutely a way you could make this a racial thing and like turn it into a Johnny Depp won, but what about all those other Black men out there that don't get their day in court, that don't get all the legal representation necessary to put everything on blast out there they possibly could to clear their name to the public? But instead they went with the absolute weakest avenue, I feel, just in my opinion.
Somebody, Zelthor just sent me a fucking short video that I sent to you. It's good. It's good. You can just drag the URL or copy paste the URL into your browser to show it if you want.
Okay. All right. Do.
Yeah, right. It's as Scott says, it sounds like t-shirt companies making shirts for both teams playing in the Super Bowl. Yeah, they're ready. They're
Right.
fucking ready. Yeah. Super Bowl champs 2022. Whoever the fuck.
Um.
Have you ever seen the news articles that are published where it'll say with a verdict of XXXXXXX, and they were supposed to fill it in like they had a template boilerplate article ready to go, but they forgot to type in the person's name or the verdict or whatever, and they just sent it to press.
Sir.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no.
Sir, I'm
sorry.
Are you listening to me, sir? Sir, I'm talking to you. Sir, are you aware that there is waste in your water system?
I've never tried to do that before, but like I just pushed it to the sharing apparatus and it just played automatically. So I apologize. I totally interrupted
Either way,
you there.
it's just she just made a couple more rounds around the desk. That's all you missed, but that's about the size of it. I mean, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, CNN are more angry than ever at Fox News because they're the only ones that didn't air the January 6th choreographed. And yeah, they hired the former ABC news producer to choreograph the event. It's a hearing. It's not a Blue Man show at Vegas. It's a fucking hearing.
Oh, but it's absolutely political theater.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean,
they want you to care about it.
They stagecraft it. Did you see the size of the fucking screen? Is it the January 6th hearings? Like they really I wish they had slipped in the wrong PowerPoint slide that said, and this is why you should vote for us in November.
Right.
Or you're a racist.
Just let us know exactly what you want. Don't be a roundabout bitch about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's all it's going. The implication from the opening speaker who started talking about the Ku Klux Klan and whatnot. And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. This is the guy that you opened with? And they were talking about, we've got all this mic dropping, smoking gun evidence. It's going to demonstrate that it was a widespread planned event. And the what's her name? Liz Cheney saying Donald Trump's 7-point plan to initiate this insurrection. Do you really, anybody really believe that Donald Trump has a 7-point plan for anything?
No, I don't. He's not playing 4D chess with you people.
Yeah, I think he's got a 1.5-point plan to go to the bathroom. I don't think he's figured out the second half of the second point yet. It's when I get there, I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. It's
right. He's most definitely winging it, and the fact that he got as successful as he was with, I think, literally just winging it is kind of impressive. But I don't think it's a 4D chess plan going on in his head. Nope. Sorry. He's not nearly politically refined enough for that to be the case. I mean, we all know this. Anyone who doesn't think that is obviously not paying attention. Did you see the man's Twitter? I did.
Which man's?
Like when he still had it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was off the cuff doing what he wanted. I believe that like he was receiving advice and then disregarding it as he often did, or taking it under advisement and then going with part of it or not of the other. But like a strategic 7-point plan implemented, precisely step by step with precision to achieve precisely this outcome. And it's like, no, like who the fuck are you kidding?
Forgot how to work StreamYards.
It's been that long, huh?
It's been a minute. I switched to OBS because you were giving me so much shit about it when I was using StreamYards. You're like, you have OBS, you know how to use it. Why don't you use it? Well, because
it has its quirks.
Yeah.
But then, StreamYards has its suckage. So,
Indeed. They say Trump is either a mastermind or an idiot, depending on what they need. Right. They do.
He
They
is
do.
both things at the same time. It's true.
You can. You can be both things at the same time. I am proof.
Yeah. I can mastermind stupidity.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Hi, sweetie. I tried to brush her out earlier today so that she wouldn't be super fuzzy all over the place, but that did not work.
Don't encourage. Are you petting your cat on the desk?
You should see her. She's just staring at you, or well, technically me, but you're right next to me, so I'm going to say you because I'm already here.
Right.
But she's staring at me on the screen. She's just sitting there. So as long as she's just sitting there, I don't mind it. But the moment she starts getting in the way, it's the moment I will alinity her across the room. I love you, dear.
Wow. I love that. That's a verb. We're going to alinity her.
Mm-hmm. So, Polly, I saw a rather amusing article that I would like to share with you.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen this. It's an old one. It's from 2017, but I found it to be one of the better things that I have read, headline-wise, and then just the details of which were beautiful. So you know how people okay, so let me preface this with saying, you know how people catfish other people?
Yes.
So for those in the audience who don't know, catfishing is when you pretend to be someone that you're not. Typically, you do this in the dating world because you're too fat and you want people to think you're skinnier, or in modern day cases, the more extreme cases, you're actually well, in the case of Aizmin Atute, you are a gay man who wants to predate upon 17-year-old university recruits and pretend like you are 20-something female. That's pretty extreme. But no one ever thinks about catfishing in the strictly like professional sense, in the the workplace. Like, have you ever pretended to be someone you're not for work? And that's because it sounds ridiculous. And like, how would that work? Well, I'm here to tell you that it has happened. In 2017, a teenage girl was basically just exposed for posing for 8 years as a married man to write about baseball and harass women.
Okay.
So the article, let me see if I can zoom in on this so you can read it along with me. The article goes on to say, for the last 8 years, baseball fan turned writer Rebecca Schultz has presented herself online as Ryan Schultz, a false identity she assumed when she was 13 years old, dumping and harassing women on Twitter along the way. And I'm kind of here for it. I mean, what, if she was 13 years old, that would make her 21 years old when she finally got caught. Yeah, Zelthor, it is pretty based. I wonder how much.
That says based.
Based? Based? Where? Based.
No. You said Zelthor. It is kind of bigoted. Did you say that, or did you say? Never mind. Let's go on with the story.
No, I'm so confused now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I've made things a mess. It's not a new thing for me.
Well, good thing this is a short episode of Cocktail Hour. But so on Wednesday night, a woman named Erin tweeted a series of screenshots announcing that Schultz is not actually Ryan, a married father of 2 studying to become a pharmacist. You know, Polygon are the days when people would like expose people in a more like formal fashion by making a statement to the press through their lawyers or what have you. Nowadays, people just tweet screenshots to the internet ether and hope something sticks.
Well, yeah, I mean, telling the newspapers is like you have to hope that the writer and their editorial team are in favor of the political angle that can be garnered off of this particular story, lest there's no way they're going to write it. It's like, this person was a liar and they've done so for years. It's like, yes, but will this help advance our political agenda? Yeah, that's right. So, you know, just democratization of news. Oh, yeah, let's fucking put it out on the internet. Not that that's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying news entertainers suck. But, again, nothing new for me. Moving on. Baseball girl.
Instead, Schultz is a 21-year-old college student in the Midwest whose entire career as an aspiring baseball writer has been under a fraudulent byline. Schultz began contributing to Baseball Prospects' local White Sox blog at the end of 2016 season and wrote for BP Southside and BP Wrigleyville through the 2017 season. Additionally, Schultz wrote for the SB Nation Sabermetrics site Beyond. I don't know any about this. I'm not a baseball fan, guys. I'll watch it, maybe, live if I'm there. But other than that, I don't really watch sports ball. So none of this means anything to me. If it means something to you, congratulations. You win a cookie.
Jesus Christ. Sabermetrics is the statistical analysis of baseball because baseball has more stats than any other sport. And best sports ball's baseball. I'll have you know, and take off that baseball hat if you don't agree.
This is actually a snapback, not a baseball hat. So
Excuse what? Hold on. That's a distinction without a difference. You want to help me out with that?
No. Okay. All right. So there is a difference. And
what are you trying to say? Only pro fits or baseball hats?
let me go get a baseball hat and show you the difference. All right.
Chat, can you believe I'm putting this is a thing?
Okay. All right. We're gonna anally analyze the difference between a baseball hat.
Oh,
and
there's
a
something
snapback.
anal about this. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a baseball hat.
Okay.
Notice how it sits upon my head in a curvy fashion with the bill, and also the front is not nearly as boxy. It has a little bit more of a curve up here than the other one, which over here is straight, flat, and is more boxy than the predecessor was. I swear the difference is the shape of the bread. The chat. Weebo. No. Stop.
Welcome to Hat Chat.
Hour,
Bending
everybody.
the brim.
So, in fact, they are different, Polly. In fact, I believe the quality of the okay, so in fact they are different, right? My snapback is made of 80% acrylic and 20% wool fabric, and it is made in Bangladesh, whereas my not snapback hat, the baseball cap, is made of 65% cotton, 35% polyester, and it's made in China, and it's one size fits most. So got him. Boom. Roasted. You've been lawyered.
As I've learned, speaking to women over the past month or so, gentlemen, here's the line. I'm sure whatever you think is right is right.
Okay, moving on. I will say this. If you like baseball, I have nothing against that. Do you, boo? I think you got a donation, and I'm hearing it in the background.
Yeah, I shit. I don't have. Hold on, let me get my computer. I was from Serpent 21. I still have my Noir Bar donations on from last night. Give me a second. I gotta lean over and do the thing. Do you know why the bottom of your bill, as you call it, is green?
Because that was the design that the manufacturer wanted to go with.
Yeah, that's it. It's got nothing to do with the green playing field on a baseball diamond. So the reflection isn't.
Explain.
It's a shitty hat. It's a shitty hat. It's a shitty hat. Yeah.
But if I got another baseball cap and it didn't have green on the bottom.
Okay, Server 21, thank you for the $1. Are you surprised Weebo made this distinction? Remember how she rated the Marvel hunks by the thickness to smile ratio, etc., etc.? Yes. Yeah, I was there for the whole thing. It was something, all right.
Thickness to smile ratio.
See, how far up the face does the smile go? This is only a 60% smile, so it doesn't quite reach the eyes, therefore.
Right. If we don't have smile lines in your eye, like crow's feet in your eyeballs, then I don't want it. Fuck off. I'm prejudiced against non-crow's feet havers.
Weebo, you own pajama pants, right?
Of course.
Do you own a? I forget. Do you own a car?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay, because you drive to work. Right. Okay. So, do you ever go somewhere not willing to wear pajama pants, but because you're gonna be driving a car and not getting out of the car, you're like, "Fuck it, I'm keeping the pajama pants on."
Yes. I did that literally today.
Okay, me too.
I had to drive 3 hours. And I'm like,
even a 7-Eleven, I won't go into with pajama pants on. Now, I'm not trying to judge anyone who goes into 7-Eleven with pajama pants. And girls can get away with it a lot more than guys because they just look like they're being comfy. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a misogynist that way. I don't fucking know. I try not to think about these things too deeply. But yeah, no, I've done that. It's like, I'm going to go. I'm like, I'm not getting out of my fucking Jetsons pajama pants. I'm not getting out of the car. Ain't no one going to see.
I don't really mind if people see, but I'll wear pajama pants in the car and not care at all. The only place I really won't wear pajama pants to is work. But I will wear jeans. I have the ability to dress very casually at work, which is nice.
That is nice.
Not nearly as casually as I'd like to. Unless I'm working from home, in which case then I can just work from my pajamas or work in my pajamas.
I have a question for you that came up last night on Noir Bar.
Oh?
Yes, I was drunk.
Okay.
Drinking. I was drinking.
Okay.
A mixture of bourbon and Rockstar.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jesus Christ, I have got to start. Like, I'm going to put up a sign in the bar. When Polly's talking too fast, tell him to slow the fuck down. I went back just to listen to the audio quality with the new mic. Thank you, generous chat, because it was because of them that I was able to afford this wonderful new mic. And I just wanted to hear the sound quality, and it was. And here's what I think was. And let me tell you something. I cracked this joke that somebody wrote in comments because they thought it was funny, or they were just mocking me. Either way, I was like, "What are you drinking?" And I said, "Bourbon and Rockstar." I said, "Energy drinks and liquor." Stupid. Faster.
Indeed.
And holy shit. I've listened to myself talk and I'm thinking like it was Sam and Far that were on with me. Either those two can listen real fast or they're just not listening at all. And they're just like Polly's off on one of his hyper talk moments. I don't know. I was just, like I said, really, really surprised. It's just, Jesus Christ, man. When I combined liquor and fucking energy drinks, it was just, it was baffling. But anyway, I just so happened to, I'm going to drop into the middle of the show. I'm just going to slide the slider bar right here and just listen to the audio quality. I got to figure out a better way to adjust people's relative volumes. Sam's quite low because of his setup. Far because she was in a hotel room. Her volume was different. The OBS slider bars mean nothing because my levels were going far beneath theirs, but I am overpowering them. Their levels were much higher than mine, but yet I was louder than they were. Looking back to it, you can't trust them OBS level meters, man.
Right.
It's a ball of fucking lies. Like, I know it's open source, but Jesus, you get what you pay for, huh? Anyway, I popped in the middle of when I asked a question. Two people fell into the M&M's chocolate tank and they had to be rescued from it.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about, it's like, well, was it like hot in there? Doesn't it have to be hot to stay like liquid? Like, weren't they scorched to death? And I'm like, no, not necessarily. There's like those chocolate fountains that you see at like weddings and parties and whatnot. And that's not scorching hot unless you want to scorch all your wedding guests because you can't stand them freeloading mooching bastards.
Right.
And then I asked the question, have you ever heard anyone say my hot chocolate is cold? That had to have been said somewhere once.
I feel like I have said that before.
That's funny. My hot chocolate is cold. And Sam just, it kind of like Sam.exe, stop functioning for a moment.
Sorry, that was Grandma Jones. I just saw her like 3 hours ago. All right, she doesn't need me right now. I made sure.
I'm a good granddaughter.
I spent 3 hours in the car with her. We listened to her book tape. It was a steamy one, so I was hyper uncomfortable. I cannot face her right now.
Was it a bodice ripper?
Not. I wouldn't say bodice ripper. Because okay, when I say steamy, I mean
Did the word throbbing come up?
I really tried so very hard not to hear that, but
Engrossed? Engorged?
There were
member.
No, it was a lot more specifically graphic than that.
Really?
From what I caught, because I immediately put like a headphone in, but with the part that I caught that I couldn't not listen to because I was in the middle of driving on the highway.
Right.
I caught basically the plot as it was in the first like couple of chapters as it was laid out. Holy fuck, Nana. It was she really wants me to talk to me about her steamy book. It was
You're never gonna guess what happened between Thaddeus and Lucidia.
No, it was like Francine was being blackmailed by her boss into having sex with him twice a week. Very Me Too shit, like Harvey Weinstein type nonsense. And it went into some detail about some of their rendezvous, and I'm like, Nana, why are we listening to this? It was a Danielle Steele book, if that means anything to anyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Danielle Steele.
It didn't mean anything to me until it meant something to me today. Like, because I'm not super squeamish about that stuff, but it's like if you were to watch porn in the same room as your parents, it's kind of like that. It makes you uncomfortable. It makes you a little bit like, no thank you.
What about the cam girls that are managed by their mom? There's a number of them.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
I did not know this.
Yeah. Can you imagine your mom managing your career while you're like dildoing your ass or whatever for money?
Mom. I mean, I thought I had mommy issues. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a little strange.
I am taken aback. Anyway, so what were we talking about before my grandmother called and sent me on a tangent about her steamy romance novels?
Between Thaddeus and Lucidia.
Why are those names?
I don't know. I thought you would appreciate that. I thought they were very Jane Eyre or whatever.
Thaddeus and Lucidia. I've heard Thaddeus. Okay, funnily enough, I have heard the name Thaddeus in the last 48 hours.
Okay.
And it's with the context that parents today are naming their sons after old men. Whereas parents are naming their young daughters after flowers and plants of some variety.
I've always wanted to meet a juniper.
That was another name that came up.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
Fucking batting 1,000 today.
Right?
See?
You're
Baseball's
like,
best ball.
Oh my god.
Take that hat off.
No, hides my atrocious
let me tell you something. Okay, so I'm a Nats fan, Washington Nationals fan, right? Okay,
yeah.
And so it wouldn't be a baseball hat by your definition, even though I've worn it to Nats home games. Okay, because the brim is flat, because that's just simply more how they're worn today, and it's Weebo. It's called a high top. Yeah, it's got a more bulky appearance. That's called a high top. I.
Of all of the donations that could have gone through in this,
the Weebo legs, yes.
Just as we got done talking about my grandmother's steamy romance,
you're the one who's dropping negligees. It's not my fault.
Okay, what do the people have to say?
Super 21, thank you for the $3. In the end, it comes down to throwing one pitch after another and seeing what happens. With each new consequence, the game begins to take shape. Can anything on New Trek compare? See, Weebo, there was an episode of and a series called Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And in the first episode, which was a two-parter pilot, then Commander Benjamin Sisko was attempting to explain to aliens that live outside of time and space that they live timeless. The past is the same as the future to them. They don't understand the idea of cause and effect and consequence. Mm-hmm. And so he explains it to them as an analogy of baseball, because Ben Sisko is a big baseball fan. So he says, as Server 21 says here, it's like throwing one pitch after another and seeing what happens with each new consequence. The game begins to take shape. And you can't undo it once you've thrown the ball and put a man on base and et cetera. Or woman. It's just they're not good enough to play. Interesting.
Why didn't it show? Joshua, it didn't show because we're on StreamYards and I don't have the Streamlabs notifications geared up for this. I don't even think that that's a possibility. Is it?
I don't think it is either. You know what? I think it is, and you do it this way. Here's some inside baseball for you. You love me. I'm a delightful scamp.
Scamp is one way to put it.
What you do is you create a second account, have the person come in, which is just you, and that account is constantly sharing their screen, which is a black screen, and you have your Streamlabs donation URL pasted into that window. So whenever a donation comes in, it will be appearing on that screen. That's the only way I figured to do it through Streamlabs as a workaround.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems like way too much work.
Yeah,
we'll
OBS.
Go back to OBS after OBS and YouTube figure their shit out. But for the time being, unfortunately, I haven't had any time to prepare that. And okay, I will refer to you as Joshua. Josh. If that's what you want.
There can be only one. Be careful, man. Go with Joshua. You might have 1,000 Joshes coming down on you one day.
Right.
I don't want to give them any ideas, and I've said this before, but I am really surprised that YouTube still allows Streamlabs to piggyback off of them the way they do.
StreamYard or Streamlabs?
Streamlabs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know, right?
It's no, you have to go, no, get your channel monetized. It all has to happen through super chats. We need our 30%, you fuckers.
Well, how would they moderate that though? Or
Streamlabs, you sign in with either Facebook or your Google account, and your Google account's your YouTube account. Right. So it's times Streamlabs has gone down because I forget what the particular wording is. Someone's going to have to remind me or whatever. But Streamlabs is down simply because YouTube has reached its maximum whatever the fuck bandwidth, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no, I understand. I get that part.
You know what I mean? Like, it's happened before. Like, meaning, right. You've reached the maximum, you can't do it. So, no, Streamlabs you will still receive the Streamlab. You're just going to have to read it out. But in terms of it coming up on the screen and so on and so forth, no dice. And I do think that the algorithm pushes down and suggested channels that are not monetized that do have Streamlabs links in the description.
That would be my guess too.
Yeah. I mean, I can't prove it, but like, do you really not believe me?
You can't prove it, but what incentive would they have to promote channels that aren't monetized that use a different avenue of monetization? There is none. And I'm sorry, I'm having issues with my headphones. Give me 1 sec. I
got the thank you for your patronage thing repeating forever, so I'm just going to restart OBS here.
Thank you to SS Serpent 21 for the $3. Weebo legs when the slip dropped at Tanagra. I don't know. Tanagra.
Someone doesn't watch Star Trek: The Next Generation.
No, I don't. Sorry. I know I need to, but I have so many other things that I need to watch first. Like, we're still trying to figure out a good time to watch what's it called?
I don't know.
The detective show, the True Detective. I still need to figure out a time for that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I know through.
I know I need to get back to you.
I was about to complain about scheduling things with women, and it's just
I didn't finish the super chat. Hang on. Ask Polly, joke I made last night on Noir Bar. What about Tanagra or Tanagra, as you said?
Tanagra.
Tanagra.
There is an episode of TNG where Captain Picard ends up on a planet with a guy who speaks. You actually might find this interesting. You're that kind of person. It was a good science fiction idea. Captain Picard ends up on a planet trapped with another alien ship's captain. They don't speak the same language, but in the Star Trek universe, they have universal translators that auto-translate languages, and everything the guy is speaking is in English, if you know what I mean, except for the proper names. But it's all gibberish. He keeps on saying Darmok and Gelada Tanagra over and over again. And it's like, what? I don't understand what you mean. You're not saying things. It's because their minds function in metaphor and citation and reference, mythical reference. So Darmok and Gelad are two mythical heroes at Tanagra, where they together fought a dangerous creature and became great fast friends because of it, as brothers in arms. So he's citing the example. He's trying to warn Picard, there's a dangerous creature on this planet, and we need to get together to fight. Yeah, we need to work together to fight him.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah. And later on in the episode, Dr. Crusher, when they finally clue in to like, why are these people so baffling? Even with telepaths sitting there, they're just getting imagery of mythology, basically. And you're in a myth, so you'd get it, right? And Dr. Crusher says, oh, I get it. It would be like saying Juliet on her balcony. If you don't know who Juliet is or why she's on a balcony, you wouldn't understand the reference that the person is trying to make. Longing for one's lover.
Right.
You know.
Or if you were like to reference Sword of Damocles.
You
understand that reference unless you knew who Damocles was or what his sword was doing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I will not push Sisyphus's stone. And it's like, you're like, what? And it's
Oedipus complex.
Yeah.
Just things like that. Unless you knew the context. You'd be like, what? I do appreciate that because I feel like people do make a lot of references that go over people's head a lot, and often a lot of the times that result in miscommunication or misinterpretation of what the person's saying. Specifically in literature and old literature, if you look at like compare, I think it's Japanese literature to American literature, specifically with like my best example is colors. White is supposed to be like purity and untaintedness or whatever, but in Japan, white, I believe, represents evil. So it's completely opposite. But if you were to reference that to a Japanese person, they'd be like, what? Excuse me.
Calm down, Nivea. Remember the Nivea ad? White is purity.
What? Wedding dresses are white for a reason, people.
Yeah, they are. White supremacy.
Black people wear wedding dresses.
I have seen them in them. That's true. So they have internalized racism.
Oh my God. I'm going to cry. Calm down, Nivea. No, I actually don't recall that reference. See, another example of the thingy.
No, I just said, you don't remember the Nivea Cosmetics ad? It was,
no,
the campaign was called White is Purity.
I do not recall that. When did that happen?
Well, in the good old days of 2016.
Oh. That was a while ago.
Well,
I'm not that kind of old.
You had a channel and I didn't.
Right. But I guess I didn't pay attention to that specifically. Maybe I just don't look at makeup ads like normal women do. And
neither do I, but it became a funny thing because they immediately had to like take it down and apologize for it and blah, blah, blah. They were talking about the color of their, their moisturizing cream.
Yeah.
And they were trying to say it's like there's no added chemicals beyond the minimum that needs to be in there, and it's like white is purity, and everyone's like, "Oh my God!" It's just
maybe I do know. I just don't know that I know. You know, Nivea white purity. It's like, have you ever seen this movie, Weebo? Maybe. Yeah, white purity add. Yes. I can't type with my gigantic sausage fingers.
Yeah. Those are the pictures, the woman wearing the white bathrobe and her flowing straight, obviously white hair. My God.
That's brown.
Whatever.
Probably
Actually,
I know color blindness is a
brown.
thing.
Let me go get something that's brown and show it on camera and explain to you what you don't understand about the difference.
Excuse me, are you mocking me?
Oh, me? That'd be some form of pettiness.
You would never.
But do you not remember? You know what? I should post a special edition of Polly's top 10 hottest women in the MCU, where it's just the raw audio of us talking for 90 minutes. She busted my balls so hard over saying, it was dishwater? Was that the color?
Yeah, dishwater blonde.
Yeah. I said, dishwater blonde. That's so insulting. And then Weebo went into this whole thing. Well, clearly you are ignorant on hair color. And let me tell you, and she went into this whole thing about how her mother was a hairstylist and she knows all these hair colors. And here's the range of, like, it goes from this to this to this on the color spectrum. And then that doesn't even include highlights. And I got this whole fucking speech that.
All right. So if that's what you want from me, fine. I'll give it to you. That is brown to light hazelnut ombre. You dum.
What color is your hair, out of curiosity, right now?
Okay, so right now, let's see. Right now, if I'm looking at it, so pro tip, by the way, the roots are always going to be a lot darker than the ends because your ends have been on your head longer and have have seen more light.
Right.
So that means that they've had the ability to lighten up. The unfortunate bit is that I showered earlier today, so my hair is darker than it normally is. But right. I guess mine would be somewhere between a strawberry and a dishwater blonde. Depending on the season. Like at the end of the summer, I'll be a strawberry blonde, but at the end of spring, I'll probably be a dishwater.
See, and that was what I remember saying that to you at the time. It was like strawberry blonde and like all these nice sounding things. And all of a sudden, like filthy dishwater with floaty food bits. Like it.
I didn't say
no, I said that. I said
you did say that.
Yeah, but I mean, dishwater is like, I mean, that's a terrible name to call hair. Who's going to, like, you know, going along the boxes of hair color on the aisle and go, oh, dishwater, I want to look like that. Does it come with food chunks too? But
those are flavor savers, actually. Props. Yep. Heads up. I missed. The trash can is over there. Coincidentally, so is a boyfriendo. He says it, not me, all right? Oh, I had no idea hair dye was used. Probably in the advertisement. If you look at it, add to stream. If you look at it down at the bottom, the hair is a lot lighter than it is in the base area.
Sure.
That would not be natural. That would be actual some sort of lightening. Probably some sort of bleaching in that area. Or highlighting at the very least. I think that's traditionally what that's called. If you're lightening. And ombre would be more so you'd be lightening and then laying color on depending on what you want. Although I guess you could ombre with highlights. It's just short an extra step. But anyway, the ombre look is kind of like, well, you know what ombre is, right? Holly?
I know what amber is. I don't know what ombre is.
Oh, ombre is basically when you go, you accentuate the whole two-tone color scheme that your hair traditionally has.
Oh.
But you can do it with highlights. You can do it with color.
Hey, that's nice. I like that. See, that's how you cute girls who want to go with interesting colored hair can do it. Do the ombre thing. And then you don't look like a ideological psychopath, but you still get to use the cool colors.
I like it too. I think it looks great. This is a bad ombre.
That's a mean ombre right there.
That is a bad ombre. It's more of it's like a gradual lightening or color change from one color to the next, and that's not just a hair term. That's a general color term, I guess. It's like a color gradient, if you will.
Yeah, I would have gone with color gradient from just photo shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Man, how do they get it that even? That even of a gradient on some of them ladies.
So there are different methods to do it. In some cases, you can use a cap with holes in it and just pull out the pieces that you want to highlight.
Right.
In the case of the one that I am exemplifying here, literally they just took the hair and went, here is the bleach. We're going to lift the color from this point downward. There was no gradual adjustment. That was probably a mistake, because as you can see, this does not look great.
Right?
It looks really bad. Like at that point, you just cut it off at the line and then
really
start over. You should, or you dye the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then you're causing a lot of damage to the rest of the hair. I mean, it might be fixable. You could lay more color on that to fix it, but
you're gonna see the difference. You know what I mean? Like
you're never gonna achieve the exact same color.
Oof.
Chemically, because that's what it is.
Like, you know who's gonna make you feel worse than anyone is your stylist or your salonist or whatever they call them. Because you're gonna sit down and you're gonna like pull your hat off and it's gonna drop down, see that, and they're gonna go, "Oh my God, what did they do to you?" Like that's when you're gonna feel the worst. You know, the person you go to fix it. You know,
right?
They're gonna like hug you and be like, "Oh God, it looks horrible. I feel so bad for you." And it's like, "Stop it! You're making it so much worse."
I know. I had the same mentality when I got my face chewed off at the nurses. It's a really bad dog bite, Weebo. Yes, I know.
Nice.
Fix it, please. But another thing that they can do to achieve the ombre look is they actually, if your hair is light enough at the ends, right? If you've lifted that color, what you can do is you can actually pull the color down or pull it up or whatever, and just kind of gradually apply more or less depending on which way you're going to achieve that effect. So if you're laying a color on top of a darker color, what you can do is, in this case, like on the left hand side here, what they did was laid the color on the black roots and then just pulled it straight down to the lifted ends, and that's how you achieve a really decent looking ombre, because then you have that merger of color, that gradient of color in the middle section where they didn't lift the initial color.
Right.
But there are many different ways to do it. Hairstylists all have their own unique ways of dyeing and coloring hair. It is an art as much as it is a science, specifically a chemistry, because remember, you are working with chemicals to achieve a certain color range, hue, tone, saturation, etc., etc. And you're working with, in some cases, really shoddy canvas. In other cases, virgin canvas, as they like to call certain people's hair. My hair would be an example of virgin hair because it's not been treated with any sort of chemical, except for like shampoo and conditioner. So yeah. And there's my hair explanation for all of you in chat for the evening.
I feel informed.
Right?
I had no idea that Hombre was the thing.
Ombre.
Yeah. That's what I said.
You said ombre. It was wrong.
You're still mad about the baseball hat thing. That's your problem.
No, you're still mad. I've moved on. I certainly do not have a tab
grievance
open here, that is specifically citing the three main differences between a baseball dad hat and a snapback. No, sorry, I do not. Snoopy 100. Wow, that's very nice to hear that. Weebo's version, indeed, especially where, like, if we're talking to my father, that's all he needs to know.
Yeah, he's excited to hear it.
Right. I can't wait to tell my lady friend Weebo taught me about hair color. I'm glad that your lady friend cares enough about our conversations here, Johnny. I'm so happy to hear this. So Polly, what's new with you?
Not hair color.
No? You
No.
haven't dyed your hair any funky colors?
None.
No. Never?
No.
Would you ever?
No. I just can't see the cause or reason. Who am I, ninja?
Fair enough. So, okay, let me ask this question. Say you start going gray, right? Because that happens sometimes.
I've heard that.
Yes. So you just naturally start to develop gray hairs. Do you go through the trouble of dyeing the gray back to your natural color, or do you just leave it salt and peppery all like that?
I don't know. I haven't gone gray yet. See, okay, now here's the thing. Let's say that you were like salt and pepper the way De Niro was in Heat, where it's an even salt and pepper. That just looks cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas if you're like Reed Richards, where it's like stripes down the side of your head. I mean, I've had some lady friends say that they find that really attractive and so on and so forth. The graying temples, that it's
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me, is that actually attractive?
I like the salt and pepper look. So I, for one, am very excited for when El Boyfriendo starts to go gray because I've stressed him out so much. So that's definitely not part of my nefarious plan.
It is an exciting thing for women to push men closer and closer to the grave. Yeah, I understand. I don't know why, but I
think you'll look really good with gray hair, personally, or salt and peppery hair. So that'll be an interesting.
I wonder if there's a way to color your hair salt and pepper, because like I understand what you're saying with the cap where you pull it out, like you use the thing and you get the highlights. Like I've seen that being done, but like how?
You can definitely do it.
How do you do it hair by hair though?
Okay, so you would so you know how women get highlights?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen. Let me show you. Salt and pepper highlights. Okay. All right. Good. Right. So.
Ooh, just for men.
We can do just for men too, but I want to show you on a woman example to kind of give you an idea of what we're looking
See, now that's fairly even salt and pepper right there. That's
you can get that. You can achieve that chemically. How you would probably do that is you would a stylist would probably take a clump of your hair, and like traditionally what they do for highlights is how they would do this for salt and pepper look too. What they would do is, oh, hi, Kat. The other one has come to join me. But what they do is they would tease some of the hair all the way up to the scalp, and just kind of leave it there, and then pull out the rest of the hair. They would slather on the bleach.
I get teased down, so you're pushing some of the hair away in an even. That's clever. I get you. Yeah.
And then they'd wash away the bleach after you'd achieved an even like layer. And then what you do is you go back in with the gray toner and you would tone the hair into a gray color. And that's how you'd probably get the salt and pepper look on a dude too. Because you can do this on dudes. It'd just be a little bit more difficult. Like I know they give dudes highlights. So it would literally just be like you're giving someone highlights, but instead of just leaving it at platinum blonde, you'd be toning it with a silvery color.
Right.
So yeah. It's probably one of the easier hair dye tricks to do. I could see myself doing this when I eventually start to go gray, if I ever have like that as a thing. Like, because I really like my hair color natural the way that it is right now. But the moment that starts to change, I could see myself attempting the gray hair look in that fashion, or just any really colorful look, because then that would give me an opportunity to kind of play around with my hair, because my hair color is already compromised, and in some cases it's actually lightened up too, so that would help with the lightening process. It wouldn't have to I wouldn't have to process it nearly as much in many of the places. So yeah, I see it as a more experimental phase of my life, I think.
Do the silver thing right now. I think that'd look interesting. A woman in like her early 20s with like not gray but silver hair. It would look you'd end up looking like one of the many superheroines that have like truly silver hair.
Like this.
Yeah, there you go. Younger woman with silver hair. It's odd looking. It's interesting.
It is odd looking, but I like my natural hair the way that it is. And if I end up not liking the gray silver look, then I have to kind of just deal with it until it grows out again. Right. I really don't want to. But when I'm old and I start caring less about my looks than I do now, then maybe I'll do it. But yeah, plenty of women go for the gray look. And I think it looks great on most of them, to be honest. Like, look at that. That's not bad. I kind of like it. That's cool, too. And she is relatively young. That's right. Oh, yeah, this is also an example of a good ombre, because you're going from really light gray roots to darker ends and mids. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, now I've given you something to think about. And we are an hour and 22 minutes in. So Polly, you want to bring this to a close at the 1:30 mark then?
All right.
Because I know you said you were tired. I'm tired.
I am tired.
So.
It's true.
Indeed.
I was up early doing things.
Like super top secret-y things?
Aren't they always?
I don't know. Yes?
I've got a red phone over there like Batman, and it rings, and I pick it up, and I'm like, Dubbenstein. I go, Mr. Dubbenstein, package will arrive shortly. You're not to speak to the man. You're to read the contents inside, then burn them, then flush the ashes.
So you remember the Adam West TV show?
Sure.
Batman TV show, right? Then they had the bad phone off in the corner, and it connected directly to the commissioner, and they could just talk to the commissioner. Whatever necessary.
Yeah, what's up, bro? yeah.
How do you maintain a secret identity with a direct phone line to the police commissioner in your residence that they know communicates with your alter ego?
Because it goes through like 5 different hubs before it eventually goes to your house, and all the hubs are secret. It's like
it's a phone line connection.
It's analog onion.
I feel like
it's just, it's like wired Tor. It's fine. He's Batman. He could figure it out on a time. Given enough prep time, Batman can beat anyone. That's the rule.
But I want a better answer than that.
That's like saying, like, how could you look up like the weirdo strap-on porn that you do? And it's
what?
And it's like,
why is that where we go?
Well, I didn't mean out. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's because you use a VPN, which, like, encrypts the signal. There's different ways of, like, it's a wire that goes directly to their house, but they don't know that you're watching, girls bang other girls with strap-ons because you got a VPN.
Okay, yes, but also no, because it's very different. And also, we're going to have to talk about that whole women pegging strap-on situation later, because
it's only pegging when it's men.
Okay, but you still settled on it as an example.
Okay, but that was great.
That was the one at the forefront of your mind. Holly, do we need to have a chat?
just saying. It's like, okay. Like I said, I didn't mean to out you. I just
Me. Can Batman beat Goku? I don't think either of us is qualified to make a judgment on this answer. Polly, have you ever watched? Is it Dragon Ball?
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z? No.
Yeah, neither have I. So I'm just gonna go with my very much prejudiced answer of Batman. Is the winner in that? Wow, this hat.
Yeah, because again, the rule is given a long enough preparation time beforehand, Batman can he beats Superman because he had enough fucking forward time. I mean, if you catch him unaware, which is really, really hard to do. Yeah,
because he knows all.
Yeah, well, he's just that smart. He's that smart of a strategist. He's that dogged of a thinker. Is it he will outdo
that paranoid?
Yes, that he's that fucking crazy. And somehow he's a high functioning crazy person.
Hey,
with a lot of money, lest we forget the money, and so yeah,
he does the good stuff.
That was a great feature film. Which DC one was that? Where Batman had figured out he had contingency plans to beat every one of the members of the League of Justice, the Justice League.
I know what you're talking about because I feel like I've seen it. I have it on DVD?
And they all confront him. It's like, why would you do this? And he goes, I don't know if you guys are gonna fuck around and whatever. It's because he's got backup plans for everything. He's fucking. He's Bruce fucking Wayne. Of course he does.
He is. Is it? I feel like was that the Justice League series itself?
I don't know.
I feel
want to
like
go watch it again. So someone in chat can remember because I've got a pretty good, though not exhaustive collection of DC feature film stuff, and I have the entire Justice League series. So if someone knows, tell me because I want to see it. I remember when they confront
the whole series.
I do.
Oh my gosh, this is why we're friends. Because I want the series on DVD. I just have yet to actually purchase it, but I have like all of the movies.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I purchased them too. Totally.
Right, because hard copy is best copy.
Yeah, hard copy from perfectly legitimate online sources.
So when you say purchase, you mean purchase. I see.
Purchase, yes. But I don't know what you're insinuating, Weebo, but I don't think I like it.
I would never insinuate anything.
So, have you seen Public Enemies?
Mm-mm.
So it was. I forget the way that it worked, but they cut it together as a feature film. So you can watch it as a feature film, Public Enemies, or you can, but I think it was originally a 3-episode deal of the Batman and Superman adventures, whatever. Anyway, it's a really good one. The Joker ends up stealing this jade dragon that's supposedly cursed because he needs money. And so Batman's investigating him. But it ends up leading him to have to go to Metropolis. So it's a Batman. It was like the first Batman Superman crossover in the DC universe. Yeah. Really good, underrated episode. If you haven't seen that one, we should watch that one. And if you haven't seen Batman Under the Red Hood, we should definitely watch that one.
I think I have Under the Red Hood actually on my shelf, and I have seen that one. I know that for a fact. Is that the one where Bruce Wayne goes on dates with Lois Lane?
That's Public Enemies.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Right, because Under the Red Hood is the one where Joker is Joker.
No, is the one where there's a guy named the Red Hood who's out there committing crimes, and yeah, they do bring the Joker into it. He gets involved.
Mm-hmm. Falls into a vat of things wearing the Red Hood.
That's how he became the Joker, and he's like, when I went with that identity. What was the Joker's line? I had style when I did it. I don't know what's up with this motorcycle boy fetish gear this guy's got on.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to spoil for anyone like who is the guy who's the Red Hood now, because that's a
part
of the story, right? Huge spoiler if I say, right?
No, I remember what we're talking about now. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen that too.
Because Nightwing's in it, so you get to stare at his animated butt the whole time.
Yes, and I believe he's played by Neil Patrick Harris.
But doesn't that ruin it for you a little bit?
Okay, so yes, actually. Neil Patrick Harris's voice is not the voice that I would imagine as Nightwing.
A little too high pitched, a little too kitty.
Not kitty, but it's too high pitched for what I anticipate as being Nightwing. I feel like Nightwing, his voice at that age, right? Because in Teen Titans, the actor who voices Robin in Teen Titans is a lot higher pitched.
Right.
But I feel like at that age, it should be more baritone-y. So I feel like that was a miscast voice actor in that case. I was very much disgruntled with it. Not gonna
Disgruntled?
Disgruntled.
Have you?
Yeah, Jensen Ackles was the Red Hood person.
Okay.
And that was beautiful casting for voice. So I did not have a problem with that. Now that we're talking about it, I can remember more of it.
Didn't they have Robin be a girl for a short time? In the greatest graphic novel of all time, The Dark Knight Returns,
right,
by Frank Miller. Yeah, Carrie Kelly. Best Robin ever.
Really?
Yeah. Because she wasn't recruited. She chose to be Robin and kind of forced Batman to accept her in the role. It was great.
Wait, but didn't Dick Grayson also choose to be Robin?
He was Bruce Wayne's ward.
He originated the literal Robin costume. The reason Robin is because of Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
So what do you mean he was recruited? He found the Batcave. And then he's like, I need to avenge.
Well, it depends on which origin story you go with. If you go with but honestly, it does. It sincerely does. It depends on which origin story you go with. I mean, like, was Peter Parker bit by a radioactive spider, or was he bit by a genetically altered spider? It depends on which unfortunate storyline you go with, right?
Unfortunate, he says.
Well, the original was, the best one is radioactive because it just, come on, that's the original story. Just go with it. Well, everything's genetics now, and we need to it's like, but doesn't that just make like Spider-Man a quasi-mutant? Not that he has the X gene, but because it's genetic, not, why don't you just make the Fantastic Four a bunch of mutants while you're at it, you fucks.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the problem with comics, is that we have too many reboots and like rehashings of the same old storylines.
I mean, that's why the New 52 was successful when it came out. It was like, okay, we've gotten too complicated. We want to reset some things, but we don't want to restart everyone's storyline. We just need to clear away some of the clutter. And if we want to bring in back some of the other characters, we're going to nail it down to these 52. We're going to go with this. That's what Marvel needs to do, is just, okay, we're going to get rid of the shit and start by firing a whole bunch of people, especially editors. And you know what I mean? Like, there's a big difference between rebooting your whole enterprise as opposed to just freshening it up. You know what I mean? Like, let's just clear out some of the storylines and clear out some of the complications and just not reference them. And it's not saying it didn't happen. It's just like, let's just move from this point forward.
And moving on.
Yeah.
Right.
That's totally works.
Gotcha. And on that note, Polly, we're over time.
We are.
1:33, 46, 47, 40. So next Sunday is Father's Day.
Tis.
Do you have Father's Day plans?
Not yet, but I'm gonna come up with something.
Okay, because I probably will have Father's Day plans. So we might have to go start a little later, or do the stream a different day, because dads are important.
It's true, they are.
Without them, everything falls to shit.
It's true.
Right, so we need to celebrate our fathers.
Yes.
So we could either do it like the day before, or day after, or later, or whatever you want to do, or whatever works for you.
Yeah. Well, you don't know if it's going to run late. You don't have any idea. Why don't you just let me know, and then we will decide accordingly, and then send it out on the Twitterverse. And
okay, yeah, that works. Because I haven't been given a time for dinner, and I don't know how late it's going to run to. So
exactly. Once you're given a time, let me know, and then we'll go from there. I'm probably going to take my dad out for sushi that night. Ooh. But he, like most older folks, eat early. They had me late in life, so yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Enjoy the sushi with your father.
Yeah, my dad digs sushi. My mom hates it, so it's a good Father's Day idea. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No.
I'm being told to do it Saturday. We'll see. We'll see. So in the meantime, Polly, do you have anything you want to show?
I don't have any edited. Well, I mean, I've got a number of edited videos. I've just got to fucking finish one. I should really do that so I can, like, you know.
Right.
Do you have a bunch of unfinished videos on your hard drive?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such is the life of a person whose day job is not YouTube.
Yeah, I hear you. My day job is not YouTube neither, either, or, nor. It's
Very good. English is your first.
So yeah, AAA this week, and then Noir Bar on the weekend. Yay! And if you didn't watch last night's Noir Bar, you can go enjoy it now because it's up and it was fun and it was long and just watch it at like 0.75 speed, and I'll sound a little bit
normal.
A little bit more understandable.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. So.
Are you?
Yeah, because I usually watch the longer stream stuff at work because it's good background noise.
Why are you watching that smut?
Coding. I'm sorry. Do you not want me to watch it?
That show's not much smut. You didn't know that?
Well, then I shouldn't watch it at work.
Well, well, there's a bunch of. I mean, you could watch it at work, but you can be pulled away because it'll be like, "Oh my God, look at this thing!" Because we do a list of 9 different types of bread from around the world, and if you don't look at the bread, you wouldn't get any of the jokes. Like it's
fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I could like glance over every once in a while if necessary.
Yeah, if you can do that, if it's not pulling you away from your encoding encryption.
Not necessarily, no.
No? Okay, well, there you go.
I'm really good at multitasking. It's a female thing, I think.
I've heard.
I've been told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can crush a man's will to live and do their nails at the same time. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, so Noir Bar, AAA, and then if Polly should decide to finish one of his videos, that.
Yeah. And what about yourself, Weebo?
So I am aiming to hopefully have the other video that I have on my hard drive edited down and pushed to publish at some point this week. I don't have a specific date, but I do know Wednesday we are going to hop in the Discord and do some shenanigans in the Discord. I think we're either going to watch a movie or I really like the idea of doing an escape room with the people because a boyfriendo actually showed me a Steam game that's basically just an escape room, and we did one together, or we did 2 together actually, and it was very fun. We've only ever really done escape rooms like together in person, but you can actually do a lot in the virtual sense with an escape room. So I'm gonna see if there's a level of interest there with the people.
Escape room game. That's interesting. I'd like to see how that would. I would like to see how that goes down. There, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to participate in the escape room shenanigans, Polly?
Is this Wednesday?
Wednesday, or we could like have it another day, if that's better.
It's just Wednesday's my day on Triple K, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys end at what? 7, 8?
7:30.
7:30.
Eastern.
Yeah, so we could start after. Oh, so that's
6:30 Central.
6:30. Oh, so then we could start at 7. Do the escape room together.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, there's a half hour between there.
Yeah, sounds like a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that video maybe, and then a side quest. I might be on tomorrow, or I might not, but I'll definitely be on Friday. So, looking forward to that.
Okay.
And that's my week.
Perfect.
Indeed. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out tonight and hanging out with us this fine evening. We're apologetic for the way that it started, but I think the rest of it went rather smoothly. Don't you agree, Polly?
I was gruntled with it.
That's not disgruntled. That's just.
Think about it.
That's not an actual word, is it?
Think about it. It should be. I'm bringing it
It's an
back.
actual word.
I am gruntled, satisfied, finding it
satisfied and contented.
Yep, I was gruntled with it.
Okay, I didn't realize that it was.
You didn't hear it here first, but it was popularized here by yours truly, Polyus W's.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad
I saw the wheels turn real quick there. You went, you were wet. Wait a minute, that's not a word, is it?
Well, no, it makes sense that it would be because dis is the not part, the
Sure.
not prefix, and gruntled is the act of being. Okay, so yeah, no, we should bring that word back. I kind of like it.
Yeah. I hope you were gruntled with tonight's episode as well.
Mm-hmm. Kind of sounds like Grendel, which if you're a fan of English, like really, really old English literature, you would know where that comes from. But I digress. The irony there is not lost on me. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ladybugs of all ages, thank you so much for joining us this fine evening, for all your donations and for all of your comments and shares and likes and subscribbles. We deeply appreciate it. Without you, it would just be two idiots in Discord talking to each other. Except we're not in Discord. We're in StreamYards.
You'll be able to fix it. Just unplug and plug your router back in. I usually fixed it when I got the yo-yoing bit rates and whatnot. Yeah.
I'll do that later because a boyfriend
Game
is
is going
still
on.
doing his thing. So
Yeah, you wouldn't want to crash a COD mission or something.
right, he would be very angry with me.
Sure.
Love you. What? I can't unplug and plug in the router while you're doing your thing. Just randomly. You wouldn't like that.
I mean, could have asked.
That's fine. So yeah, we'll see you guys next weekend. We'll have a time for you later in the week, ladies and gentlemen, when we're more secure in our schedules. But in the meantime, I've been Weebo, he's been Polly, we've been Cocktail Hour. Later, losers.
Later.